Hey, how's it going? BANKaji here for more Maitri Multimedia. So, last time we went over how to make a sub and added to our mid bass, and before that we went over how to make a bass and then drums. So now what we're going to do is balance out all these instruments. And we're going to do this by adding sidechain compression and EQs. So first, what we're going to want to do is we're going to type in compressor into the search bar, and then click on audio effects and drag and drop compressor onto our bass channel. Next, we're going to open up this little arrow right here. Then we're going to click on sidechain and we're going to plug in our kick. Next, we're going to bring the threshold all the way down, and then we're going to turn this to RMS. Okay, let's see if we can hear a difference. I'm just going to click right there and click on drums. So you can hear every time the kick comes in, it brings the volume down. That's what the sidechain compressor is doing. So how we can adjust this is we can go and adjust our dry wet while this is going on. And then also we can lower the threshold. Once you have a sound that you like, you can copy it and see how that works on the sub. Once you have it how you like, you can copy it and paste it on the sub. Solo the sub and the drums and see how that sounds. It's often good. It's better to raise the threshold of the sub. To make sure that the lows of the sub are getting canceled out before the lows of the kick come in. You can also adjust the attack and releases. Usually for a sub, you want it really quick. For the bass, you can adjust it to be a bit shorter as well. Another thing you can do is adjust the ratios. 4:1 is usually a good ratio. Let's hear that on the sub. Now let's hear it all together. Nice, sounds good. Next we can name this kick compressor. And we can do the same to this one. Next thing we can do is we can add a compressor for the snare. So we can copy this or duplicate it. And then just change the channel to the snare. Usually for the snare, you want to not have so harsh of a threshold, and you can lower the dry wet. Kind of like how that sounds with the snare coming through all the way with a harsh threshold. So adjust it to how you like it. And then over here, you can just rename this snare compressor. Snare compressor. Then you can copy this and paste it on your sub and listen to the changes. Cool. Let's listen to it all together. Nice, sounds good. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add EQs on the bass. We'll do an EQ8. So I'm going to type in EQ into the search bar, make sure I'm clicked on audio effects, and drag that onto the bass. Now you can see it's showing us on a spectrum what's going off. You can see these are the highs and these are the lows. Let's copy this and put this on the sub. So let's look on the sub and see where these marks are going off. So basically, we want this area of the EQ to be free for the sub. Let's go back to our bass. And you can see it is being filled on our mid bass. One easy way to deal with this is to just click here, and basically you're going to be cutting off all those sounds on your mid bass. You can hear the difference. We can do the same for our sub as well. You can see it's hitting down here. So we can go to this, click here, it's just the same thing but opposite, and then bring our frequency to there. Let's hear them both together. You can adjust these if you don't like the power. Just be careful as you get lower down here to make sure your sounds aren't overlapping. So you can see we have some space here. Let's listen to it all together. Sounds pretty good. So let's copy this EQ, cutting off the lows, and let's put this on some other elements in our drums that don't need low end, like these hi-hats. And we can just apply it, making sure that the low ends are cut off. You can also do this for the snare if you want. Do this to your preference though. Through lightly adding sidechain and EQ, you can get your mix sounding cleaner and cleaner, raising your overall volume. Join me on the next video where I'm going to be showing you how to add drum fills and also expand on ideas like this and make them into songs.